Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to get really personal and transparent with you all about some major financial mistakes I've made over the years. It's something I haven't really talked about on this channel before, but I think it's an important topic as we're all human and we all make mistakes with our money from time to time. The key is learning from those mistakes and not repeating them. I've definitely learned a lot of hard lessons when it comes to managing my finances responsibly. So in this video, I'll go over some of my biggest financial blunders from over the years and what I learned that helped me course correct and make better money decisions moving forward. Mistake number 1, living beyond my means and racking up credit card debt. One of my biggest financial mistakes, especially early on after graduating college, was living way beyond my means and racking up a ton of credit card debt as a result. I had developed some pretty bad spending habits of eating out regularly, taking frequent vacations, always buying new clothes, gadgets and other unnecessary stuff. And I was financing this unsustainable lifestyle by maxing out credit cards as my income simply couldn't keep up. Over time, the interest charges kept piling up and that high interest debt became a total albatross around my neck. It took me years to finally pay it all off through budgeting, cutting expenses drastically, getting a side gig and throwing every extra dollar at that debt. What I learned is that living within your means is critically important. Don't spend more than you make. If you can't afford something with cash you have on hand, don't buy it. Credit card debt is an endless cycle that's extremely difficult to get out of once you're in too deep. Mistake number 2, not saving for retirement early enough. Another big financial mistake I made was not saving enough for retirement early on when I had the chance. In my 20s, retirement was the farthest thing from my mind and I figured I had plenty of time to worry about that later. So I prioritized spending on things I wanted in the short term instead of making retirement contributions. It was short-sighted and now I realize those early working years are absolutely crucial for building up long-term savings through compound interest. By not saving aggressively from an early age, I missed out on years of potential growth that could have significantly increased my retirement nest egg. What I learned is the importance of prioritizing retirement savings from the very start of your career through taking full advantage of 401ks, Roth IRAs and other retirement accounts. Even small, consistent contributions over many years make a huge difference through the power of compound growth. Time is your biggest advantage when saving for retirement, so start as early as humanly possible. Your future self will thank you. Mistake number 3, trying to time the market. When I first started investing, I made the mistake of thinking I could successfully time the market and buy or sell at the perfect moments to maximize my gains. I studied charts, tracked trends and tried to buy low and sell high. Spoiler alert, it didn't work out very well at all. I missed great opportunities by having my money on the sidelines, trying to wait for a better entry point. And I made poor trade after poor trade by panic selling whenever the market dipped or crashed temporarily. Ultimately, I ended up buying high too often and selling low out of emotion and impatience. What I learned is that unless you have advanced tools, expertise and make it your full-time job, you simply cannot time the market reliably as an individual investor. It's better to have a long-term perspective and simply stay invested through the ups and downs while buying on a consistent schedule. That's why I ultimately decided to transition to a buy and hold indexing approach which has served me far better. Mistake number 4, lack of diversification, going all in on risky investments. Another huge mistake I've made financially was lacking diversification and going all in on very risky, speculative investments that I didn't fully understand. For example, in my 20s I became obsessed with finding the next big thing in tech or biotech and poured way too much of my portfolio into penny stocks and other sketchy companies working on moonshot ideas and projects. I ended up losing a huge percentage of my net worth by investing so aggressively into these ultra high risk, make or break type scenarios based on headlines and hype rather than fundamentals. I learned the hard way that those types of investments are akin to gambling at worst, and optimistically are so volatile and speculative they shouldn't make up a large percentage of your portfolio. What I learned is that diversification across different asset classes with varying risk levels is so important to manage risk prudently as an investor. Don't put all your eggs in one basket or go all in on a handful of companies or sectors you're betting everything on succeeding. Spread your wealth out sensibly to grow it safely over time. Mistake number 5, not having an emergency fund. Finally, one of my biggest money mistakes looking back was not having a proper emergency fund in place to cover unexpected expenses and scenarios. I always thought I could just use my credit cards or dip into my general savings account if anything major and costly ever came up out of the blue that I didn't plan for. That philosophy worked okay for a while during periods of financial stability. But then when major emergencies like losing my job, major medical bills or a huge car repair inevitably popped up, not having a dedicated emergency fund put me in a real financial bind that compounded all my other monetary problems. What I learned is the importance of having at least 3 to 6 months worth of basic living expenses squirreled away in a separate high-interest savings account specifically earmarked as your emergency fund. This protects you from a run of bad luck that could otherwise put your entire financial situation in jeopardy with nothing to fall back on. The peace of mind it provides makes it more than worth doing. Conclusion. So those were some of the biggest money mistakes I've made over the years that really taught me some harsh but valuable lessons about personal finance. While painful and often embarrassing, working through those errors and their consequences ultimately helped me develop much better habits around budgeting, saving, investing and preparing for the unexpected with my money. I'm definitely not perfect and still have progress to make, but by learning from my mistakes I've become a lot more financially disciplined, responsible and secure over time. Remember, we all mess up with our finances sometimes. The key is recognizing those mistakes, learning from them, and then making better decisions moving forward to improve our money management skills over time. I hope me opening up about my own biggest financial blunders and lessons learned provides some valuable perspective and helps prevent you all from making similar mistakes with your money. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Learn from them.